Hello Manchester United fans. Man United faces harsh reality as Amorim warns of club's deep troubles. Manchester United is grappling with a crisis that has left fans and insiders questioning the club's direction and leadership. Richard Keys has sharply criticized Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accusing him of ripping the heart out of the once glorious club, which now finds itself in an embarrassing position near the bottom of the Premier League. Currently sitting 16th in the league, United's season has been disappointing. Ruben Amorim, who took over as manager in November, arrived to a club already struggling, 2 places higher but still far from stability. Both Amorim and his predecessor, Erik ten Hag, were appointed under Ratcliffe's ownership, a fact that has fueled debate over the club's recent decisions. Keys, in a candid blog post, did not hold back, stating, "United are hopeless. Embarrassing. They're still going backwards. The Grim Reaper has ripped the heart out of the club, inflicting damage from top to bottom, while making one poor decision after another. It's coming back to bite the club and those in charge." He further suggested that Amorim quickly realized the scale of the challenge upon joining, facing a club managed by accountants and statisticians rather than football experts. Keys questioned the club's ability to commit to Amorim amid rumors he might leave soon and criticized previous transfer moves as wasteful. Amorim's own words after United's recent 2-0 defeat to West Ham reflected his frustration. "I'm really embarrassed that in 25 games we've won 6. Something is wrong in the way we are playing football." He emphasized that the issues go beyond tactics and technical skills, touching on the players' mindset and passion. "It's the way we face competition, how we suffer, and how we fight. That feeling of wanting to fight until the end is missing. It's not acceptable to lose or draw without a fight." Amorim stressed that the problem isn't just confidence, but something deeper within the club's culture and spirit. The situation paints a bleak picture of Manchester United's current state, with internal struggles and management decisions under scrutiny. As the club tries to find its footing, the growing unrest among the team, management, and supporters signals a critical juncture. How United navigates this turmoil will shape their immediate future and test the resilience of one of football's biggest names. Amorim told make bold decision by dropping very inconsistent Man United star in UEL final. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has been urged to bench Rasmus Højlund in the Europa League final against Tottenham. The Red Devils have been enduring a miserable campaign, as illustrated by their shocking 16th place in the Premier League standings. For his part, the misfiring Højlund has been the poster boy of the club's attacking woes. The Dane has only managed to find the back of the net on 4 occasions in the Premier League. Nevertheless, the lack of options up front has been forcing Amorim to stick with the 22-year-old through thick and thin. And yet, former Spurs midfielder Mike Brown insists that Man United would be better off without Højlund when they lock horns with Ange Postecoglou's men on May 21st in Bilbao, insisting that the striker has been too inconsistent to warrant a starting spot in this season-defining fixture. "I think we have to understand that he's still young and still learning, and in a side that has been very inconsistent, but he's got to get better," Brown said of Højlund on the football news show via UTD District. In recent hours, several reports have suggested that Ruben Amorim is under increased scrutiny, with his spot on the Manchester United dugout no longer certain. The 40-year-old took over from the sacked Erik ten Hag in November, but as the Premier League table shows, the results haven't improved, at least not on the domestic level. Incredibly, despite lying in a miserable 16th place in the standings, the Red Devils can still secure a spot in next season's edition of the Champions League, as they manage to go all the way to the Europa League final. They will take on Tottenham in the grand finale in Bilbao on May 21st. But while Man United have been occupied with their surprisingly solid European campaign, they have seemingly abandoned all efforts to try and improve their position in the EPL table, as evidenced by their most recent lackluster showings. Will Man United consider sacking Ruben Amorim? Hence, some reports claim that these displays irritated Ineos, who could decide to wield the axe regardless of the outcome of the Europa League final. Nevertheless, Man United insider Sully denies such claims, insisting that Amorim's future will be decided at the end of next season. The journalist believes the upcoming campaign will be vital for the 40-year-old, and a poor season could spell the end of his time in Carrington. One thing which is certain is Ruben Amorim will stay regardless of the Europa League final and will be back this window, posted Sully on his official X account. Next season will be all or nothing for him. Amorim staying for next season. This approach does make sense, as it should be remembered that Amorim is currently operating with a squad gathered by his predecessor, and hardly reflects his football vision. Obviously, this shouldn't be enough to justify the club's horrendous EPL run, but at this, Roy Keane points finger of blame over Man United star's exit. It tarnished him. Scott McTominay has thrived since leaving Manchester United and joining Napoli, with Roy Keane confessing his link-up with Fred never allowed him to play his best football. Roy Keane admits Scott McTominay's time at Manchester United was tarnished a little bit by his constant association with Fred prior to his exit. The Scot left Old Trafford in the summer, a move which has greatly backfired on the Red Devils. McTominay came through the ranks in Manchester, but played in a side that often struggled for consistency. The bulk of his football came under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who regularly paired him with Fred at the base of midfield. That combination copped criticism, with some claiming United needed more star quality in that area. The pair were conveniently named McFred and were viewed as a safe option by Solskjaer, but it appeared to hold back the Scottish star from unlocking his potential. McTominay was sold in the summer, partly for PSR reasons as United toed the line financially, but the decision has looked a shocker, with the 28-year-old excelling for Napoli en route to a possible Serie A title in his first year in Italy. The ex-United man has scored 12 times in Naples, where he's become a fan favorite, and Keane concedes that his link-up with Fred didn't aid him in Manchester. The Irishman said on Stick to Football, "What didn't help Scott was it was him and Fred together. It just wasn't a good combo. I know Ole praises both of them, which is beyond me. I always thought there was something in Scott. He had more than Fred going on, but as a partnership it didn't work, it wasn't happening, United weren't competing in midfield. It tarnished him a little bit, McFred, wasn't it? He's added to his game, to be fair to him. He's always had a goal in him, but he's got that up to another level. If he wasn't scoring the goals at Napoli, we wouldn't be talking about him." But you can't keep talking about players who leave a big club and say we should have kept them. You can't keep everyone. I think McTominay could have been in the group 100%. But playing every week? I'm talking about the players you need to get Man United back to the top. They haven't brought in better, which is the problem for the club. United's recruitment has been that poor that you still talk about former players. Solskjaer, now back in management with Besiktas, has recently confessed he was stunned to see the Manchester outfit part ways with McTominay. It was a decision taken under Erik ten Hag's tenure, but the Norwegian claim, "How you can sell Scott is beyond me." Man United to have barbecue instead of parade if they beat Spurs in Europa League final. Manchester United have the chance to secure silverware and a place back in the Champions League should they beat Spurs next week, but won't go over the top in their celebrations. Manchester United's season hinges on their Europa League final showdown with Tottenham Hotspur. But the Red Devils will not go all out in their celebrations should they win the competition, having already been the idea of a parade. The Red Devils will take on their Premier League rivals in Bilbao on Wednesday, May 21st. And despite a potential third trophy in as many seasons being on offer, the real prize for United is a golden ticket into the Champions League and the potential riches that come with it. But even if United manage to see off Spurs and secure the Europa League title, it appears that their celebrations will be more of a low-key affair. According to the Times, there will be no open-top bus parade through the streets of Manchester, with a barbecue instead planned at United's Carrington training facility should they be victorious. Plans for post-final celebrations have to be put in place by clubs in advance, and United's scheduling has proven difficult to organize a citywide parade. United take on Aston Villa at Old Trafford in their final league game of the season just days after the final. They will then jet off to Asia for a post-season tour with a game in Kuala Lumpur scheduled for May 28th, before another clash 2 days later. Players are then expected to report for international duty straight away, meaning the chance of a parade is remote. Instead, a low-key affair will be held at Carrington for players, staff and families to celebrate. Spurs, however, are expected to hold a parade should they clinch the Europa League trophy. United have not hosted a parade since 2013 and Sir Alex Ferguson's last Premier League title success. Since then, they have won the Europa League, the League Cup and 2 FA Cups. And while victory in Bilbao would provide some welcome respite towards the end of a calamitous campaign, United boss Ruben Amorim insists a trophy will not salvage the season. Everybody knows it's really important for our season, but we know nothing is going to save our season, he said. This can be huge, winning a trophy, getting in the Champions League to play European, elite-level games next year. It could change a lot of things in our club in the summer. But it's not the most important thing. Of course, people are going to look in a different way for this season, especially at the coach. But it's something more in the core of our club that requires addressing. We need to change a lot of things and need to be consistent. Europa League will not change our problems. It's going to give us Champions League next year, more money to spend, but the problems are still there.